The person you think you are is a lie. Not because someone lied to you, because you lied to yourself, over and over, for years, until the lie became so familiar you stopped questioning it. You built an identity out of your worst moments, out of failures you never processed, out of things people said to you when you were too young to know they were wrong. And now that identity runs your entire life. Every time you say, "I'm not the kind of person who," that's not self-awareness. That's a prison sentence you wrote yourself and never appealed. In the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you the lock and hand you the key. You've said it before, maybe today. I've always been lazy. I'm just not a morning person. I'm not smart enough for that. I've never been disciplined. That's just who I am. These sentences feel like truth. They feel solid, like facts about the weather or the color of your eyes. But they're not facts. They're stories. Stories you told yourself after something went wrong, and then repeated so many times your brain stopped filing them as opinions and started filing them as identity. Your memory doesn't store what happened, it stores the story you told about what happened. And every time you retell it, the story gets simpler, sharper, more permanent. The details that don't fit the narrative quietly disappear. What's left is a clean, convincing lie that sounds exactly like self-knowledge. Here's how memory actually works. Every time you recall something, your brain doesn't play back a recording. It reconstructs the memory from scratch. And every reconstruction changes it. The emotion you felt last time you remembered it bleeds into the memory itself. The conclusion you reached afterward gets baked into the original scene. After enough cycles, you're not remembering what happened. You're remembering what you decided it meant. This is not a metaphor. This is neuroscience. Every major study on memory since the 1990s confirms it. Your memories are not files. They are stories rewritten every time you open them, which means the identity you built on top of those memories is built on sand. "I've always failed" is not a fact. It's an edited highlight reel your brain assembled to protect you from trying again. Because if failure is who you are, then not trying isn't cowardice. It's just being realistic. That's the trap. Your past self isn't informing you, it's controlling you. And the worst part is, it doesn't feel like control. It feels like honesty. But here's the thing nobody tells you. You are not your past. You are not the person who failed in 2019. You are not the person who quit in 2021. You are not the summary of your worst decisions. You are whoever you decide to be starting now, not tomorrow, now. Identity is not archaeology, it's architecture. You don't dig it up, you build it, one action at a time. Seneca wrote it nearly 2,000 years ago. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Your past self is imagination wearing the mask of memory. It feels real, it isn't. 3 principles. 1. Separate the event from the story. Something happened, that's a fact. What you decided it meant about you, that's fiction. I failed the exam is a fact. I'm stupid is a story. Learn to see the difference. The event is over, the story is what's still running your life. 2. Build new evidence. Identity doesn't change through affirmations, it changes through proof. Do one thing today that contradicts the old story, just one. Wake up early when you never do. Write one page when you're not a writer. Run 1 mile when you've always been unfit. Each action is a vote for a new identity. Enough votes and the old story loses the election. 3. Stop saying, "That's just who I am." Every time you say it, you're signing a contract with your past self to never change. Replace it with, "That's who I was." 3 words, 1 letter different, an entire life apart. I'm not going to promise the old voice disappears. It won't. 5 years from now it will still whisper. But in 30 days you'll catch it mid-sentence. In 6 months you'll hear it and choose not to listen. In a year it will sound like a stranger. In 5 years, you'll barely remember the person who believed it. You won't become someone without a past. You'll become someone who stopped letting it drive. Right now there's a sentence in your head. Something you've been telling yourself for years. Something that starts with, "I've always," or "I'm just not," or "I could never." That sentence is not truth. It's a recording, and recordings can be erased. If this is the kind of truth you want more of, you already know what to do. Now close this video and go prove your past self wrong.